من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد Our discussion is still on those two verses or three verses that we started, which كتب عليكم إذا حضر أحدكم الموت إلى آخرها. We started discussion on this, and today we are proceeding from al-wasaya al-wajiba wal-mustahaba, compulsory will and recommended will. We have already discussed this, just he wants to expatiate more. We said what we have already discussed, what is compulsory, obligatory will, and that of recommended. Obligatory wills are those wills that we call either the haq of Almighty Allah and the haq of a human fellow. What we mean is this. We said last time that if for example, he owes Hajj and for no reason he could not perform it before he died. He has what it takes to perform Hajj, but he refuses to perform it. That one is right of Almighty Allah. Even if he dies, it has to be done on his behalf. The same thing happened to Sawm and even Salat. Then the right of your human fellow is, at times you owe some people, and this owing you are unable to pay it before your death. Therefore, it is compulsory to write in your will that I'm owing so person, so that after your demise, it can be paid on your behalf. Or some people give you some kind of trust. Let's assume somebody came to you, your friend or far relative or any other person. Because of the regard he has for you, he said, because he knows you will not betray him, he said, please, take this 10 million, I put it under you. Anytime I need it, I will take it from you. Please help me keep it. This 10 million is a manna on your neck. If the person, fortunately or unfortunately, pass away and you have to look for a way to discharge this amana. These are what we call obligatory. You have to make will. It is compulsory, except if you know that the person to execute your will have knowledge of all this. He knows that you are owing people, he knows that you are owing Hajj and others. If he knows, it's still recommended that you should write this will. Yes. Al-wasaya wa in kanat mustahabbatun bi tabiyati haliha. We said it last time that the will itself, it is mustahab. It is not more compulsory, because we said, according to some views, it was compulsory before the revelation of the ayah of Irith, of inheritance. But after the ayah of inheritance, the verses of inheritance were revealed, it is no more mandatory, except on this condition that we said. He said, Al-wasiyat wa in kanat mustahabbatan. Will, writing of will, even upon all that we say it is recommended by its nature, kama asharna ilayhi, as we have indicated before. ولكن قد تكون واجبة لأمور طارئة. He said it may be compulsory because of the unforeseen circumstances. There are some unforeseen circumstances that may make it compulsory upon you. You owe Hajj and you are still thinking you are going to pay it until the death comes. You owe some Salat and you are saying you are going to pay until death comes. This one compulsory. It must be paid it must be discharged on your behalf, even after death. مثل أن يكون على الإنسان حقوق واجب, as I said. For example, أن يكون على الإنسان, for if there is outstanding obligation of another person on you, it is compulsory, it should be discharged even after your demise. أو لله, or there is outstanding obligation between you and another human fellow. As I said, this person gave you owe some people, let's assume 2 million, 500,000, 200, and you couldn't pay it before your demise. Therefore, it is expected it must be paid. In this case now, it is compulsory to write a will in respect to that. Make it clear there that I'm owing so person 200,000. After my demise, it should be paid on my behalf, something like that. أو كانت عنده أمانات وديون, or there is amanat. As I said, there are some trusts entrusted in your neck. Somebody gave you trust. Say, keep this trust for me. This trust now is not your own. Therefore, you should write it in your will that somebody, so person gave me trust, 10 million. When he comes after my demise, or even if he comes, it should be returned to him. How do you own? Or you are owing some people. You owe some people some money, which you need to pay back even after your demise. You have to write it in your will. In this case now, it is compulsory to indicate it in your will that you are owing some people, there are some amanat of some people on your head, you are owing some hajj and it must be repaid after your demise. أو مثل ذلك بحيث لو لم يوصى احتمل ضياع حقوق الناس بذلك. If it is not indicated and you did not write will in respect to that, there is possibility that the right of the people may be lost. The right of these people, you won't be discharged to them. Especially if you didn't write it in your will and you did not tell anybody, your inheritors, those who are inheriting you, just came and said that we inherit 10 million from our dad. After that, and somebody came and said, I gave your dad 5 million naira. Okay. Those people, we start arguing that our dad did not indicate that he's owing any money. Therefore, it is compulsory you indicate it, to write it in your will, so that people, those who are executing your will know that you are owing some people. He said the most important of this, and yakuna lil-insan makana khassa, is somebody to have a special status in society. Special status in society. You are somebody that is well respected. When they see you coming, they say, Malam. They respect you. People come from different ways, different places. They say, Malam, please keep this for us. Why are they coming to you? Because they think you are trustworthy. Just like the time of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when they see him to be trustworthy, they gave him all kind of trust because they know the trust they gave him will never miss. Therefore, if you are a kind of person that have this special status in society, laulam liman badahu, if he does not make will in respect to that, liman bada, for those who are to execute his will, waqat itirabat wa umur mu'safa. He said there may be something like disturbances, like civil disturbance. It may cause a lot of trouble and cause some unfortunate things in society, because your inheritors say that the whole money is for their dad, and their dad does not make any will in respect to that. And the person comes now, he said he gave your dad some trust. How much is he? Say 10 million. Then trouble will come, and it can lead to civil disturbance. It can lead to anything. Therefore, you have to, as a human being, you have to write. In these cases now, it is compulsory to make a will that you are owing some people, or some people give you some trust. After your demise, it should be given to them, so that it makes it easier for your people after your death. Hafiz Jami has his story. He said, in all these cases now, Tajibul was here, it is compulsory to write will, so that there will be no problem after your demise. You write will. That will writing now is compulsory. Now, he said, Al-wasiyatu qabilatu lit-taghyir khilal al-hayat. He said, Al-wasiyya, will, qabilatu lit-taghyir, is subjected to change khilal al-hayat, when one is alive. That is, writing will today does not mean you cannot change it. I may write my will today, after 2 years I review it. I review it and make some changes and still keep it to keep it with me, or keep it with somebody to execute my will. Therefore, he's saying here that al-wasiyatu, will, qabilatun, is subjected litagir, to changes khilal al-hayat, when somebody is alive. That is, you can write will today and make some changes tomorrow. It is your own something. It is not you have the right to change it the way you want. What matters is that whatever change you will make, you should make sure that it goes in accordance with what? With Islam. So that you will not create trouble and create chaos after your demise. Al-Qawanin al-Islamiyya ajazat lil-musi an yu'idu an-nazar. He said, Al-Qawanin, the law of Islam, ajazat, give permission lil-musi, for the testator, that is the person that writes will, and yu'idu an-nazar, to revise fi wasiyati, in his will, ma'adam ala qaid al-hayat, in as far as he's alive. In as far as he's alive, he's allowed to make some changes in his will. I write today, tomorrow I said, no, I have some changes I want to make, I'm allowed. Wajawaz al-taghyir yashmul. He said, this permission we are of making the changes, yashmul, extend to al-wasi, to even to the guardian. Today, I wrote in my will that if I die, so Mala should be what? The executor of my will. But I may decide to change it after 2 months, after a month, after 2 weeks. Change it that after my demise, this is the person to be what? To execute my will. I still have that right. وَكَيْفِيَةُ الْوَصِيَّةِ and how the will should be. It is in my hand because I'm the owner of my will. I have right to do it the way I want. What matters, as we said, we have been repeating it, is that it should not go contrary to what? To Islam. The right of the testator is 1/3 of whatever he left after other things have been paid, like if he's owing and others. After discharging what he owes, after paying all what he owes, the debt he owes, he still have 30 million. The 30 million now is for they bring it to say that this is what our daddy left after we paid everything. That 30 million divided by 3, the testator has right of 1/3, which is 10 million. And whatever he writes in his will, in as far as it is not more than that 10 million, nobody has right to change it. And in as far as what he wrote in his will does not go contrary to Islam, as we said, that is the place, Marrakech al-Fasad, centers of Fasad, where evils are done, should be built with. This one is against Islam, therefore it will not be executed. But in as far as he wrote there, that this 10 million, 2 million should be used to build mosques, 1 million for that, 1 million for the orphans, 1 million for the school dropout, it's allowed. There's no problem in it. ذَلِكَ لِأَنَّ مُرُورُ الزَّمَانِ because why is it possible, is it subjected to change it? After some passage of time, قَدْ يُغَيِّرُ نَظَرَاتِ الْمُوسِ the perception of the testator may change. He may change his thinking, he may change, no, this 5 million I said should be used to build that mosque. 5 million cannot build it, it's too small. Then he will change it, add 2 million to it, 7 million. It's allowed, he may change it. And the benefit that is associated with the wasiya may also change. What is associated, the benefit associated with it. There are some benefits that it should be used for. Then he may also have a second thought about it and change his will. In as far as he's the owner of his will, he has right to change it anytime, any day. The only thing is that he should not change it contrary to what? Islamic laws. In as far as he's within Islamic laws, he has right to change. Now, Jadir bin Zakir, he said, it is important to mention, and al-insan, that human being, yambagi and yajal wasiyatahu wasilatan litalaffa ma'amadu min taksir. He said, this is very important. He said, Jadir bin Zakir, it is very important, and al-insan, that human being, yambagi and yajal, is expected to make his will as a means. His will should be a means to rectify what has passed in terms of his what? Negligence. When he was alive, let's assume he has some sisters, he has some brothers, and he's rich, he doesn't care about them. That is during the time he was strong and others. He's a multi-billionaire, but you see his immediate sister, his immediate brother, his immediate relatives, they are suffering. He doesn't care about them. He said now that he thinks that his life is almost about to get to an end, then it's an opportunity for him. It should be a means to rectify those past negligence. Yes, it is not a must that you take care of them, but that's what we call common sense. You cannot be a billionaire and your sisters, your brothers, your nearby relatives are suffering. What is the essence of that money? And he refused, he failed to extend it to them. وَأَنْ يَتَوَدَّدْ بِهَا إِلَى مَنْ جَفَّاهُ مِنْ أَقَارِبِهِ. He said he should try to mend fences with those that he has neglected during the time he's supposed to take care of them. Now, this is an opportunity. Write in your will, at least if they are not happy with you, after you might have died, somebody that does, among your relative that does not expect 2 million, he just heard that your brother that dies said you should be given 15 million. He will just say, whatever sin he has committed, in whichever way he has wronged me, I forgive him. That is why he said it should be a means of mending fences, which it should be to those that he has neglected when he was alive. Wafi riwayat, I said in some narration, and according to Islam, the leaders of Islam, kanu yusuna khasatan, they used to make will, especially liman jafahum, for those they have neglected, min aqaribihim, among their near relatives. وَيُخَصِّصُونَ لَهُمْ مَبْلَغًا مِنَ الْمَالِ, and he especially make some provision for them in terms of money. He knows that this my brother is supposed to take care of him. He knows that this my sister is supposed to take care of him, but he doesn't take care of them. In his will now, at least, he wrote there that when he dies, these people should be taken care of. This is how will should be. It's a way of mending faces for those that he has neglected when he was alive. Make some provision for them, give them some money. At least some of them that are stubborn, there are some people that are stubborn naturally. They may say that I don't need his money. When he was alive, me, I was suffering. At least the other relative can meet him and say, this man has died. And at least, even if he does not remember you when he was alive, in his death he has remembered you. Please, whatever you think he has done for you, he has done to you, forgive him. The man will forgive by nature. He will not still insist. He will not forgive this man. Now, so that all this he can restore, so that so that he can restore the severe bonds of affection. The affection that has lost before, he can bring it back, at least even after his death. It is very, very important. While you have a bid down, if they are having some slaves, he can free them through his will. I wrote that these slaves, I put 10 million naira, those slaves should be freed. In this our modern world now, I don't know where this is still practicable, where you have slaves that you have to, maybe, except if there are some other part of the world we don't know. The world we are living today is a little bit difficult to have this. Or at least if he cannot free them before his death, he can write in his will that after my demise, those people should be free. Inshallah, this is where these particular verses that we discussed stop, which is about the will. And we have said a lot of things about it. Will is very important. We said it is not, initially it was compulsory, but so according to some riwayah, some people, according to some Quranic commentators, but after the verses of inheritance were revealed, it was no more compulsory. Upon all that, now he said that there are situations that make will writing compulsory, especially if you are indebted to some people or some people gave you a manner. Therefore, you have to write will because this amana is not for you. If you are also having, somebody should tell Mala Musa to run the jail. If also you are having, you are, as I said earlier, you have some debt that is related between you and God. What is that debt? You owe some Hajj. Negligently, you refuse to do it. You have the money. When you are reminded, you will not go for Hajj. You said, I beg, I don't have time. Inshallah, time I will go. As if the whole life is in your hand. You will go, you will go. That is what you say until the death comes. This one now, you are not ma'azur. You are not excused. You are not forgiven. Therefore, that should be done after you. It should be done. All this, in this kind of situation, it is a must to write a will. It is not matter of what? Of recommended. In other issues, it may be recommended to write will, but there are this situation, it makes it compulsory. Inshallah, this is where this verse stops. Today we are starting with verse 183 to 185. What is this verse 183 to 185? Is the verse of fasting. We are in fasting and we are starting it, this verse today. What the verse is saying, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyam kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Ayyaman ma'dudat. Faman kana minkum maridun aw ala safarin fa iddatun min ayyamin ukhra. Naam. Wa alal ladhina yutiqunahu fidyatun ta'amu miskin. Faman tatawwa khayran fa huwa khayrun lahu. Wa an tasumu khayrun lakum in kuntum ta'lamun. Then it continues to say, Shahr Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi al-Qur'an hudan lin-nas wa bayyinatin min al-huda wal-furqan. Faman shahida minkum ash-shahra falyasumhu. وَمَنْ كَانَ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرَ يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرَ وَلْتُكْمِلُوا الْعِدَّةَ وَلْتُكَبِّرُوا اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. صدق الله العلي العظيم. This verse is saying, O you who believe, decreed upon you is fasting, as it was decreed upon those before you, that you may become righteous. Fasting is for a limited number of days. So whoever among you is ill or on a journey during them, then an equal number of days are to be made up. And upon those who are able to fast, but with hardship, a ransom as substitute of feeding a poor person each day. And whoever volunteers extra, it is better for him, but to fast is better for you. If you only knew, this is the month of Ramadan which was revealed. In it is the Quran, a guidance for mankind, and have made clear the guidance and the criterion. So whoever sights the new moon of the month, let him fast it. And whoever is ill or on a journey, then an equal number of days must be made up. God intends for you ease and does not intend for you hardship, and wants for you to complete the period and to glorify God for that to which He has guided you, and perhaps you'll be grateful. Yes, as we are saying, this is the verse of the Holy Quran from 183 to 185. It's addressing us the issue of, he wants to address and tell us the law of fasting. He said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who believe, kutiba alaykum as-siyam. Fasting is ordained for you. Kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablikum. Just like the way it was ordained before for the people before you. What is the essence of this fasting? La'allakum tattaqun. So that you may have God, you may be God-fearing. You may have the piety. Let's go into what the Mufassir is saying. We have heard a lot about fasting. As a preamble, fasting is not just to close mouth, to stop drinking water. No, that is not what is called fasting. It's part of it. When you are fasting, all part of your body must fast with you. Because one thing intended to be achieved after fasting, la'allakum tattaqun. So that at the end of the fasting, you may be God, you may have that God fear in you. God fear in you. You may achieve piety. It is expected that after fasting, you should transform into another human being entirely. If you fast and after fasting, you still discover that you are just like the way you are before fasting, you don't need to go to soothsayer to know that you have only succeeded in what? In punishing yourself. You only succeeded in restraining yourself from eating and drinking. Because fasting is more than that. Fasting should be that after your fasting, you yourself that have yourself, you know that you have changed, you have transformed positively. That is what fasting means. You are not why are you not allowed to do some certain things? If you are a kind of person that talks anyhow before, you are expected that when you are fasting, you should reduce your talk. So that after fasting now, at least you should be moderate. If you are a kind of person that tells lies, you are expected that after fasting, if you cannot absolutely stop telling lies, you should reduce your lies. After fasting, if you are a kind of somebody that womanize, for that 30 days, if you cannot, you are expected to stop it after Ramadan, after fasting. Fasting should be a source of discipline, both spiritually, you should be disciplined to certain level. Yes, we cannot be an angel after fasting, but we are expected to be close to an angel, because that is what is expected from you. Then Al-Mufassir is saying, as-sawmu madrasa to taqwa. Fasting is a school of piety. La'allakum tattaqun. Fasting is a school of piety. Why does he say fasting is a school of piety? Because fasting teaches us self-discipline. Nobody is seeing you. If you fast and you want to go to one corner and drink water, somebody may not see you. But you have that belief that Almighty Allah is what? He sees you. That is what is expected after fasting. In whichever sin you involve yourself, you should know that some supreme being is watching you, is watching over you, is seeing you. If you are a kind of person that tell lies, when you open your mouth now, you say, Allah is watching me. In Ramadan, why do we restrict ourselves? Because we don't want our fasting to be in vain. Eat. You stop eating, you stop drinking, upon all that at times you are almost becoming unconscious, but you still endure. So that all these things you are able to practice during Ramadan, after Ramadan, it should be part and parcel of you. That is why he says fasting teaches us self-discipline, self-control also. At times, if you are not, those who womanize, if they are not in fasting period, when they see women, they quickly rush. But when you are fasting during days, when you see women, what do? You try to restrain yourself. You try to have self-control, control yourself. You know that what you are doing now, Allah does not want you. Allah does not want you to do it. And spiritual growth, you are expected to have spiritual growth after Ramadan, after fasting. After fasting, spiritually, you are expected to grow. You should not be the same way you are before. They should see decency in you. People should be able to see that you have transformed negatively to positivity. That is what is expected to see in you. Then, develop empathy for those in need. That is why Ramadan is so good, is so sweet, that when we are fasting, upon all you may not be a rich man. What do you try to do? You try to be a muhsin, a giver. You try to be somebody, a righteous person in Ramadan. Even that is why Rasulullah said that in Ramadan, try to break somebody's fasting, even walau kana madha bitamr. Even if it is only what date you have. What Allah wants is not the quantity, is the sincerity. Yes, we are not trying to deny you somebody who can feed, who have money to feed 100 people. He said what Allah wants is just date. No, don't deceive yourself. You can do more than dates. You can give something more than dates. Give more than dates. Yes, but Allah want to see you that you have empathy for those who are in need. Those who are in need in Ramadan, you give to them, so that after Ramadan, that will have impact on you. That is spirit of giving to others. For 1 month, if you are able to practice it, it will become part and parcel of you to a certain level. Cultivate gratitude. Learn how to thank Almighty Allah for His favors. That, oh Allah, I thank you for this whole Ramadan. You granted me health. I was able to fast. After Ramadan, that thanks, that gratitude, you continue with it. Then purify the soul. Purify your soul. Tazkiyah to nafs. It is very, very important, because if the soul is not purified, all other things in the body will not be purified. That is the essence of purifying soul. Therefore, Ramadan is very, very important in our life. And when we say Ramadan, Psalm, fasting, then it should be something that we see the impact even after Ramadan. The impact should be seen in us. People should say, Kai, this man has changed. This is not how he was before Ramadan. People should be able to see it. And you yourself that have yourself, you should be able to see it yourself. And you should also be able to connect yourself to the divine, to Almighty Allah. Just like in Ramadan now, you see people are trying to read Quran several times before the end of Ramadan. Is that not so? Is that not so? Yes. Everybody is trying to see that you read Quran. Even if you don't know the meaning, at least that is why it is said that whether you know the meaning or you don't know the meaning, reading it alone has some spiritual impact in you. In Ramadan, everybody try to read Quran, so that after Ramadan, at least, just like Sayyid Ali Khamenei, Sheikh, may Allah continue to grant him mercy. He said, you should not allow a day to pass, even if it is 1 page of Quran, try to read it. 1 page, only a page. Don't allow a day to pass without reading a page of the Holy Quran. He said it's very important. It has a very spiritual impact in human's body. Therefore, these are the trainings we receive during Ramadan. Ramadan, as I said, is not just to say, I don't want to eat food, I don't want to drink water. It is more than that. Therefore, we should not just allow it to be a culture. When something becomes culture, you may not see the impact because it has become culture that hence others are fasting, let me also what? Fast. But the real benefit of fasting, you will not get it. Therefore, we should always, that is why he said, As-sawmu madrasatu taqwa. Fasting is a school of piety on its own, where you learn piety, so that after Ramadan, after fasting, that piety will continue to be in you. You should be able to be part and parcel of you. Now, he said, في سياق ترى مجموعة من الأحكام الإسلامية. He said, in this context of presenting a set of divine law, of Islamic rulings, in this particular ayah we are saying now, he said, تناولت هذه الآيات. He said, these verses address ahkam wahida, address one important ruling, min aham al-ibadat, among the most important worship, among those worship we do, it address one of the most important one of it. Wahiya ibadat as-sawm, which is the worship of what? Of fasting. It address it wa bilahajatin muf'imatin bitakid, in a tone of full emphasis, very emphatical. Kutiba alaykum as-siyam kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. With full emphasis. Qalat al-ayah, the verse said, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, O you believe, kutiba alaykum as-siyam, fasting is ordained, is prescribed for you. Kama kutiba alal ladhina min qablikum, just like the way it is ordained or prescribed for those before you. That shows, if you read the history of Islam, the fasting does not start from the time of who? Of the time of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is why today you even see Christians, to a certain level, they also fast. Our fasting may not be the same exactly. Like this year, a Christian came to me and said, Mala, we are the same this year. I said, what happened? He said, our fasting and your own start the same day. They also started the same day. I don't want you to look onto it, how do they fast? The most important thing is that they fast. The way they fast, لِكُلٍّ جَعَلْنَا مِنْكُمْ شِرْعَةً وَمِنْهَاجًا. Every religion has its own specific way of doing things. Therefore, the way we do our own may not be the exact way they do their own. But the most important thing is that Allah is saying that fasting is prescribed for us, just like the way it was prescribed for those before us. That shows before us, those divine religion that was sent by Almighty Allah, they also fast. In whichever way they fast, fasting was also prescribed for them. Now, he says, ثُمَّ تَذْكُرُ الْآيَةَ مُبَاشَرَةً فَلْسَفَةَ هَذِهِ الْعِبَادَةِ التَّرْبَوِيَّةِ. He said, then after that, the verse mentioned directly the philosophy behind this, behind this training aspect of what? Of worship. It addressed the philosophy behind it. في عبارة قليلة الألفاظ, in very precise expression. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم عميقة المحتوى, but has a very deep what? Meaning. With a very deep meaning. The contents in it are very deep. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. This is the philosophy behind it. So that at the end of the day, Allah, as we already in Tafsir, it's not that Allah is saying maybe. It is something definitely. If you do it the way Allah wanted you to do it, definitely you are going to attain what? Piety. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Now, as-sawm kama sayati shari dhalik. He said fasting, as we are, the explanation will come later. Amilun fa'alun litarbiya is effective means of cultivating piety in human being. When you want to be a pious person, you should know that fasting is one of the ways by which you can cultivate piety in yourself. Because the whole 1 month, you are using it for training. Stop, if you are a kind of person that drink alcohol, that 1 month you are trying by all means to stop what? Drinking alcohol. Or at least some of them that cannot live it, throughout the whole day he will not drink. And in the evening, there's no way he can make up with the one he did not drink since morning till evening. At least even if he's going to drink, he will drink small. maybe before the end of the month. Most of the people that want to leave one act or the other, it is during Ramadan they used to plan for it. Therefore, if there are kind of behavior you have, you are a kind of human being that talks anyhow. You are a kind of human being that tell lies. Lies is nothing to you. You tell lies anyhow. It is in Ramadan you can plan it. When you just open your mouth to talk, you remember, I'm fasting. Immediately this thing come to your brain, then you close your mouth. Therefore, you will learn how to give out. In Ramadan, you will learn that, okay, this mustadafin, downtrodden, the oppressed, is this how they suffer if they don't have money to eat food? Because both the rich and the poor are forced to keep their mouth closed during fasting. Therefore, the hunger that a poor man experiences, that rich man that has money will also experience it what? During the month of Ramadan. In that case, the whole month of Ramadan is used to train ourselves, to cultivate piety in ourselves, fi jamil majalat, in all fields and abad and dimensions. We use it to train ourselves. Therefore, it is very, very important. Inshallah, today we are the issue of discussion of month of Ramadan as we only start the preamble. By tomorrow, inshallah, if God by willingly spare our life, we are going to continue. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa ali tayyibin at-tahirin.